Previously on the Arias adventures, Lokeros and Rhodes, you two both dodge as, the floor starts cracking underneath you.
Can you check on the prince? I'm going to see if I can get this beam off of Rin.
I'm on it. Can I tell if he's still alive?
It does look like he does not appear to have any signs of life.
I reach out and I say, Toguro, Lokeros, Mannie and I were all okay. We were in the palace, but we're working our way out through the rubble. Stay outside. We'll meet you there if you're anywhere near the palace. Do not come in after us.
You know what? Executive decision. Rhodes could be injured. He doesn't know what he's saying. Let's go.
That was the complete opposite of what happened.
I activate my armor too. Morphin time. And I go running in.
As a beam collapses on you.
Hey, Rhodes. So I broke my leg and we're on the second floor. So we're pretty much fucked up here. If you want to come up and send some help, that'd be great.
And on the other side of the room, you see Mannie and Kat.
I got this. Should I jump to them? I can jump to them. I can totally make it.
Toguro flies past the two of them, in between them, and just takes this running and just, jumps across this fucking chasm. I gotta go find my uncle and make sure everything's okay, guys. I'm sorry. I've gotta go.
That's 19 on a karate chop on the back of her head. Ha!
Jesus Christ, Toguro, what are you...
Except now that you assaulted a royal.
I put her on my back. I go running to the bar. You're under protective custody.
I'm so confused and my leg hurts a lot. Toguro, Naomi, get Naomi.
Oh, there's an issue with that.
What did you do, Toguro?
We have to go to the house where I got the special mind dust. I take them to the brothers.
So you dash up the stairs and throw the doors open, and you find Naomi. It looks like she's tuning her instrument.
Yeah, speaking of, Toguro, maybe now at the explanation time would be good.
They're Decogen. They're not actual free people. They're slaves who escaped their masters and robbed from them.
Also, who are these hunters and where do we kill them?
Yeah, let's do it in the Battleram Woods. We found a spot. We could lure them to that clearing.
I'm told that you're someone to talk to about poisons. Do you want to make a little coin today or not?
She looks at the gold and then she looks behind you out the window and she walks past you and you hear the click of the door being locked and she's just like, come with me, dear, as she sweeps the gold into her pocket and you head behind the counter with her. As you follow her back, you see the shades have already been drawn for the night since she was in the middle of closing up. You pass by shelves with dried plants, jars of oils and seedlings and whatnot. If you'd like, you can make a investigation check, checking out things as you're walking by and seeing what there is.
Okay. All right. Don't think that's very good. That would be an 11.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like a bunch of dried herbs and stuff. Nothing really super sticks out to you. Out of the ordinary, you see there is a bookshelf with some scrolls and loose leaf paper and some journals and books that have different you see some things in Gnomish, some things in Elvish and whatnot, but nothing, like I said, nothing really jumps out to you. She goes over to her workstation and she puts on some glasses and she's like, so you're wanting something to paralyze someone?
Yes.
And how severely potent are you looking for in this makeup? What will you be using it on? In food? In a flask or something?
Ideally coated on a blade or on arrow tips.
I got you. So you'll want something that will adhere pretty well to your blades. Let me see. She starts uncorking bottles and sniffing them. You don't see any markings on them indicating what they are. She grabs a little bit larger kind of tonic bottle that's empty. And you see she starts picking up these other bottles, sniffing them, and then some she'll nod her head and put a few drops of this in it. And then you see she goes to this pestle and mortar and she sprinkles these like a handful of little seeds of some sort, and this like sweet, sickly smell starts permeating the air as she's crushing it. And you see her pour some water into it to kind of like make it more liquefied. And then she pours that into the tonic looking bottle as well. And she's working for about 10 minutes or so. So is there anything you want further ask her and talk to her about, or are you just waiting for her to finish this potion up?
I think I'm just sort of waiting for her to finish this potion up. I do want to sort of casually glance around again to see if I can notice anything of particular interest.
Okay, go ahead and make another perception check or investigation check.
It's even worse. So I'm going to say no, that with my whopping 9, I don't notice anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, again, it just seems a lot of the same old stuff. The only thing that sticks out is like a lot of her things don't appear to be marked. Like you see no writings on any of her bottles or jars. They either are completely unmarked or they have just like a symbol on them, and that's it.
Okay.
So other than that, there's really nothing else that jumps out. So after a few minutes, she puts like a stirring stick in and gives it a stir and then corks it and shakes it up a bit, hands it over to you. And she's like, that's going to run you 5 gold, my dear.
And how many applications will I get out of it?
Well, if you're going to be putting arrows, you should be good for about 10 arrowheads. And then if you're putting it on a blade or 2, if you're going to use like a long sword, it will take the whole tonic bottle. Or you could get 1 application for 2 daggers and then maybe another application for a short sword and a dagger.
All right. I hand over the 5 gold and I thank her for it.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
Says, no, ma'am. You've been a great help, and I will return when I have further business. Thank you.
Well, she gives you a sly smile. If you're ever looking for something a little bit more under the table that most other shops don't sell, you would just come see good old Mabel, all right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again. And I sort of, give her a little nod, and I turn around and walk away.
All right. And are you heading straight out to the forest, or are you regrouping with Lokeros and Mannie at the tavern?
As soon as I'm out her door, I'm going to make all haste to catch up with Toguro and out in the forest there to start setting up the trap.
Okay. God, Adam, you can't put shit like that in the chat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, you bitch. It caught me off because Rhodes is having the serious moment. That's what I look down and read.
I guess this audience needs to know. That old lady talking, I was just like, Togoro's like, I'd smash that. Smash that hard.
Thanks.
Always trying to hoard in on my ladies in this game. All I'm saying.
I like how she's just so
Naomi.
like totally okay with the murder. She's like, you need anything strong? I'm like, oh god, I'd smash that.
Wow.
Talk to Cassie. She won't let me have no fun.
Oh, yes. God damn it, Tittles.
I don't know. I didn't break character. I messed with the group. That was all the DM's fault. Be professional.
I know, and it made me break character. I broke narration. You bitch. Okay, so you're off to rejoin Toguro and Ramathorn, correct?
Yeah. Yes, and I update everybody with the Stone of Far speaking that I'm heading to meet with Toguro.
All right. So Toguro, you get that update that Rhodes is on his way to you. Mannie and Lokeros, you guys get that message. So we'll jump to you two back at the tavern. You were in the kitchen trying to decide how you guys were going to go up there and talk to the humans. So we'll just start with you two.
Well, Mannie, I'm wondering, since these guys are human, I'm human.
Yeah.
Do you think it best if I just go out there and persuade these guys to come with us, or
yeah, I
does it
mean,
go if we both go?
I don't know. They seem like assholes. They probably won't like me too much.
That's my only worry. I mean,
Fiora overhears you as she's helping Althorn prepare, food for the night. She's just like, oh, I'm sure they won't have a problem with you. You're not an orc or an ecogen. I was going to say humans Humans from that kingdom tend to be a bit more dicks to folks like me and Toguro and the Nikojin.
Right. I mean, I could persuade them to go out there.
All the more reason to take them out.
Yeah, I mean, I could just say we noticed a bunch of Nikojin hanging out in the forest. It looked like they were camped out with a lot of gold.
I don't know if they care that much about gold, but definitely in the Nikojin.
Well, I mean, why would they come out this way for 3 Nikojin?
Or Nikojin.
Oh, 4, excuse me.
Yeah. Well, they're probably going to get paid
Right.
for it, but
They were also sent by the governor herself. And I think Naomi had expressed how these were like pretty elite hunters. They weren't just bounty hunters. They were specifically hired and trained in hunting runaway slaves and all that.
yeah, so these guys are probably less interested in gold, more for the hunt and bringing in the Nikojin, because they're going to get paid plenty of money to bring them in.
All right. Well,
So I think all the enticement we really need is for them.
just to know where they're at.
Yep, where they're at. So do you think we should travel with them to go with them there? And then, haha, surprise, we're going to cut your head off.
I was just thinking like rumors. I'm sure they're looking for them. So if we spread some rumors around, and then I could make some magic to look like a Nikojin is actually hiding out at the place.
All right. Well,
Unfortunately, it's only one. I can only make one Nikojin. Can't really talk. I can just make it move.
Well, yeah, all you have to do is make it run as soon as they see them, right?
Right. So, what do you think?
Well, I was thinking maybe a little more direct that, I present myself as somebody interested in also hunting these Nikojin. Since I'm human, it kind of makes sense.
Okay. And I'll be your bodyguard. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I got your back. I got your back.
Bodyguard. They might think you're a sidekick.
And I kind of
but
like
don't
fold
make it
my
personal.
arms and like puff up my chest behind him a little. Kind of a little bit taller than normal. I got you. I got you, buddy.
You kind of hear Fiora chuckle under her breath, like, oh, that's adorable.
I just pat him on the head. Mannie, you can be my bodyguard any day.
I just give a pleasant smile.
All right, let's go take care of these scumbags.
All right, so you guys step out and you see that the bar is starting to fill up a bit and whatnot. You see the other employees, like the barmaids and the waiters, and you see what was his name, Brent, the little wait boy, is dashing in between tables and clearing off plates and stuff, while the barmaids are bringing fresh drinks and stuff to tables. Fiora kind of peeks out and points out, she's like, oh yeah, those guys are there, and she points to the corner to the 4 humans. It's 3 men and a woman, and they're all wearing like similarly uniforms but they're not like wearing sigils or anything. It's like travel leathers and whatnot. You see some chainmail and plate here and there as they're sitting amongst themselves talking. Yeah, Fiora's like, I'm just gonna stay back here so it doesn't cause too much of a problem unless you need me.
All right, thanks, Fiora. Yeah, it's probably best if you stay out of sight for this part until we get them out of the inn.
Fair enough. That's fine. I don't like dealing with assholes anyways.
Well, pretty soon you won't have to.
Cool. All right. Good luck. And yeah. Okay. So you're heading over to their table?
Yeah. Let's just go direct. Let's just go right to the table. Yeah.
As you approach, they all notice the 2 of you coming, and you see they're kind of like sizing you up and whatnot. So who's gonna initiate the conversation?
I will. Hey, so pretty nice to see some humans in here finally.
Kind of reminds me of like a room full of children running about, if you ask me, says one of the men.
Well, they have their uses.
I suppose. Can we help you with something?
Well, I just want to come over and say hey and see what you guys are up to. You look like a kind of a tight-knit group here.
The woman leans forward and whatnot. She's like, well, we're actually here trying to do a little bit of investigation, perhaps. Have you been here long?
I've been here for a few days, yeah.
Yeah, we came in a few days ago, actually.
Well, we're trying to figure out who to start asking and whatnot. So far, the wait staff here hasn't been the most helpful, and plus they employ orcs, so I'm not sure how reliable they can be.
Right, yeah. Might be a troublesome
But-
bunch for sure.
Yes.
You know,
But you're
maybe
welcome
we
to
can
sit
help
and
you.
join us. Yes, please. Sit down. I'd love to have an actual conversation with somebody who could give us some insight.
Sure. I mean, what kind of insight are you looking for?
Well, we are looking for some missing commodities that have been stolen from our employer.
Oh, wow, like what?
We are actually under the employ of the Governor Strobel from Ritsang.
No, fancy.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she's had her office taken advantage of by some runaway slaves.
Let me guess. Nikojin.
Of course. So, a pack of troublesome slaves decided to get it into their head to break into the governor's office, well, personal home, I should say, and not only took her most valuable servant, but also made off with an exorbitant amount of her own personal treasury.
Wow, well, how many slaves could make off like that?
Yeah, it's rough.
Four.
You know,
Just
Lokeros. Remember we were down at the dock, and I swear we thought we heard about rumors down about Nikojin.
Oh,
Yeah, I did hear
we
by the
haven't
woods.
made it to the docks yet.
Yeah, by the
something about it,
Battleram
Nikojin.
Woods. The Battleram Woods, yeah.
Yeah, and they were saying something about some other cat person or something that's
Yeah, with a bow.
kind of like Nikojin,
Yeah,
has
never
a
really seen.
bow.
Kind of looked like a savage, if you ask me.
Yeah, they were pretty savage. I mean, the Nikojin are in general.
They're pretty pathetic and harmless for the most part, but,
Well, if they're that harmless, how'd they make away with all that treasure?
well, one of the slaves had been previously escaped and had been stealing from a bunch of noble houses within the governor's city and got it into his
Oh,
head that
man.
he could break in and steal from the governor herself. So I have a personally
Oh.
invested interest in making sure this gets taken care of quickly and promptly, and we've been gaining on them.
So you're like under the direct employ of her then? Under
The
governor?
guys all nod and whatnot. She's like, and the woman's just like, oh yes, we are her four best.
Oh, I have my own little.
And she entrusted this job she
Bodyguard.
trusted this job to me.
Well, nobody better to entrust it to, I think. I've got my own bodyguard right here. He doesn't look much in stature, but I tell you, he's a scrapper.
Oh.
Yeah. Start to like move my shoulders and stretch and kind of like.
Make a charisma check, Mannie, as you're flexing and all that.
Charisma check. All right.
Yeah.
11.
Okay. So, a couple of the guys kind of like lean into each other and snicker a little bit. The woman,
Crack my
Yeah.
knuckles and then I go, ah. Ow.
yeah. Two of the guys kind of snicker amongst themselves. The woman is just like, she's not giving you anything. She's just got, like, she's sizing you up, but that's all you're able to read. And the other guy's just kind of like waiting for her lead. And she's like, well, I suppose if you're willing to do some work, we can pay some gold. If you can lead us to where you had heard they were hiding out, we'd be greatly appreciative. And I can also guarantee the personal thanks of Governor Strubel.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
it
sure.
depends on how much gold you're talking about. Because,
Exactly.
I mean, Governor Strobel sounds like you can afford a pretty penny.
Be willing to pay, let's see, for each of the Nikojin minus the servant girl, she's willing to pay $100 a head. And then for the safe return of the treasure, 300 gold. And then for the Nikojin girl herself, 500.
Okay, well, I'm thinking a good 500 to take you to him. I think half is fair.
Very well.
Take a whole heck of a lot longer to find them otherwise.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh, nice. Let's see, persuasion. Oh, geez, good thing I rolled high. 17. You know, like half up front, half when we take them to you.
She reaches into a large satchel at her side and pulls out a medium-sized bag that looks made, like well-made, and like this nice fine tanned leather, and you see a sigil on it. And she sets it down. I think that will suffice. 500 now, and then the rest later.
Sounds good. Mannie, if you don't mind.
Okay.
He's also my broker.
Yeah.
So
Of course. So, when are you guys prepared to make this journey? It's not very long.
Oh, well, we can gather our things and be ready to set off here shortly. We are very anxious at getting this business done and dealt with. Governor has been most displeased with her runaway slave.
Of course, and I feel like if the faster we go, the more surprise we'll have.
Sounds good.
All right. How about we meet outside the tavern in, say, 15, 20 minutes?
We shall do that. Thank you, gentlemen. She rises from the table and nods to the men, and they follow her. She seems to be kind of the one in charge and whatnot. So, yeah, you guys head out and wait for them.
yeah.
After a few, are you guys talking or doing any?
Yeah, well,
planning
I
between the
want
two
to
of you?
send a message with our
Okay.
stones to the
Yeah,
guy.
ahead.
we're just gonna, yeah.
Yeah, just gonna say, okay, guys, we got the perps coming out soon, 20 minutes. Be ready.
We'll be right back with the rest of the episode after a quick word from some of our other fellow podcast friends.
If you're a fan of actual play podcasts and audio drama podcasts, then you're going to love Beholder's Eye. We're an epic fantasy adventure that starts with story begins. We don't make you wade through 6 backstory episodes about characters you don't know or care about. We start with violence, the way God intended a D&D podcast to begin. If you're looking for a good character-driven podcast with bloodshed, dumb decisions, dark lords, political backstabbing, demons, and all the other trappings that make epic fantasy exciting, then subscribe to Beholder's Eye. Just look for the big green eye.
Hey everyone, your DM Cassie here. Before we jump back into the rest of the episode, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who submitted characters for our upcoming community one-shots. We received so many great submissions, and a huge congratulations to everyone who received their emails. We can't wait to record and game with everyone, so make sure to tune in for those special episodes. Also, make sure to check out our Twitter and Facebook pages for our Party Advantage loot giveaway. Just make sure to like, share, and comment for your chance to win some awesome gear to give you the advantage on your next encounter. As always, if you've been enjoying this episode of Party Advantage, please take the time to review us on your podcast platform of choice. Reviews really do help us spread the word and grow the show so that we can bring you even more exciting content. And whenever you find yourself wanting to know more about Arias and Farwind, please make sure to check out our website at partyadvantagepodcast.com. You'll find it full of character backstories, lore, maps, and much, much more. Thank you so much for listening, and now, back to the show. Rhodes, you're just entering the forest as you get this message. Lokeros, you're hanging out by the lake with Ramathorn.
I mean,
Toguro.
Yeah.
Toguro, damn it, sorry. Toguro, you're hanging out with Ramathorn.
basically, you guys told me to set up traps. So it's that scene in Predator where Arnold's is like shirtless, covered in mud, like making traps. It's just what's going on. It's normal.
Yes.
Like you shirtless and covered in mud.
I mean, I thought this was supposed to be a trap, so you have to blend in. So like, I have a ghillie suit on basically right now.
So
This-
go ahead
this is
and
beautiful.
this is fantastic. So I like this. Go ahead and make me a survival check as you're doing all this shit. Oh my god.
It's 21.
Okay, so did you also hide Ramath, like get him in his
Oh
own
God,
like
yeah. He has.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ramathorn is like down, he's like resting, sitting as you've like put bushes and stuff around him and you've like painted mud on him. He's bleated like happily at you as you're giving him attention and whatnot. He tries to get a little bit rambunctious with you, but you're just like, no, we got to do this. So you've done such a good job in hiding yourself in your makeshift ghillie suit and hiding Ramathorn. You hear footsteps approaching and you see Rhodes stepping out into the clearing, and he's looking around like looking for you guys, but he hasn't spotted you yet.
Cuckoo! Cuckoo!
That was not in Predator. That was so not in Predator.
So Rhodes, as you step out into this clearing, he does. So Rhodes, you make your way to this clearing that the guys have given you directions to and whatnot, and everything. But as you're looking around, like you don't see anybody anywhere, but you go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. That's much better than I've been rolling tonight. That'd be a 21.
You hear Toguro giving out a really bad bird call.
Sounds like Cardi B somewhere. I don't know. It's weird.
So I just awkwardly and like I guess more like flatly just like go caw over here.
So do you show yourself to Rhodes, Toguro, or are you staying hidden?
No, I pop up.
He pops up like literally right next to you, like a foot away from you.
It's like sup, and
you see he's got mud painted across his face. He's covered in leaves and twigs. You hear a bleat across the pond, and you see Ramathorn happily stick his head out from a bush. As you see, he also has stuff covering him up.
No, he's not sticking out from the bush. He is the bush.
He is the bush. There you go.
I'm just like, yeah, I've been working on trying to figure out how to do that myself. Very cool. So anyway, I got this poison, and I'm here to help you set up trap. And also, I have been practicing my magic, and I have a handy spell that I think can come into some use here, where I can create a 20-foot radius area that transforms with camouflage spikes and thorns to damage and slow down anybody who moves through it.
Okay.
So if that fits into your plan, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that whether or not it fits in your plan, I'm using it because I'm very excited about it. So
That's what like I said, he just mainly like did the rainbow thing. There's like spikes, holes with spikes. There's like a tree trunk somewhere up there with tripwire. Like this is going to be a fun day for everyone.
Oh no, this is going to be great. I'm very excited that we get to kill some people. So
I think we need to discuss later why you go to murder first.
Monster Slayer. Now,
Is this just because it's these guys are after Naomi and you've slowly been kind of starting to have a crush on her?
I mean, that's a good excuse.
That's hilarious. Okay, so go ahead.
No, it's just say Road is like all cats. It's not so much about, the end. It's more about the act. Why does your cat sit at the bird feeder and just, or at the bird bath and just kill as many birds as it can? Because it can.
You and I had different cats growing up.
Yeah. Mine's a bastard. A lovable bastard, but a bastard.
I don't think you should let your cat outside anymore.
Well, look what happened when Road went outside.
I pick up some mud and leaves. Do you want me to do you now?
Yes.
Phrasing.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead and do another survival check as you paint roads. God!
yo, that's funny.
He doesn't even have a telltale shimmer anymore. He's gone.
Ramathorn comes over confused. Yeah.
Hiding in plain sight.
I was gonna say Ramathorn looks concerned as one moment he saw his new furry friend and the next he literally disappeared.
We need to discuss why Togoro's so good at things.
Toguro is a savant for some reason.
It actually makes sense, actually.
God damn. So you two and Ramathorn get set into place and you lay your traps, and Road, you've cast your spell. Yes?
It only has a 10-minute duration, so I'm gonna
Okay,
hold
so
out.
you'll... Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll hold out till they get a little bit closer.
Okay. And Mannie and Lokeros, are you guys sending like updates when you're getting closer?
Yeah.
Okay. So the humans have
Yeah,
regrouped
but
with you
how?
guys.
Wait,
Well,
hold on,
with
but
the
how?
stones. Yeah, with the stones.
All we have to do is touch it and we mind it to 'em,
Yeah.
right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're good then.
So
Yes.
real quick, I do want to go ahead and apply that poison to I think 5 of my arrows.
Okay, go ahead and just make note of that.
Okay.
And the poison does it basically is going to follow like paralyze rules and stuff. So
Okay, what's the
Nice.
DC for that? What's the safe DC?
I have to look it up real quick.
Same as a paralyzed spell.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's kind of what I was planning on when I was looking at this
Okay.
stuff last time. Let me.
Would that be based off of Rhodes' DC for spells? Or?
But Mabel made it, so it'd be based off of hers,
Yeah.
technically.
Her DC is going to be a 15
15.
for the poison. Yeah.
Nice.
Easy. Cool.
So as you apply this,
Rhodes. Rhodes.
Yes.
Oh God, I forgot you were there. Okay, sorry.
Jesus.
I just had to put that out
This is gonna
there.
be fun.
I missed
This is gonna be
the
fun.
Rhodes, so I had to trick you.
God damn it.
I'm right here, buddy. Right behind you.
You almost step on him as he's applying this shit to his arrows. So as you're applying this stuff onto your arrows, you see again like that thick, sweet, sickly smell kind of holds in the air for a few moments before it dissipates. And it has like this greenish, oily film to it.
Mhm.
So I won't have you make any dex checks or anything, but I'm just pointing that out to you, how it looks and everything. And you see it like sticks, it doesn't run or drip off the arrowheads. It seems like once you get it on there, it stays.
Okay. Excellent. I'm all set then.
Okay.
Well, assuming that I'm hidden here. Do I need to make a stealth check or anything to hide?
Yes, I'll go ahead and have, since Toguro has done such a good job with the disguises and whatnot, I'll give you both advantages on your stealth checks.
All right. All right. So that is a 22 on my stealth.
22 and Toguro.
13.
Okay. And let me pull up Ramathorn's dex, and I can do his real quick if you want. Because I assume he needs to hide as well.
His dex is at +0.
Okay.
Should we do that or should we split up? That way we can kind of box him in.
Yeah, I would split up so that we can get him caught in like a crossfire sort of situation here. I think the idea, at least as I envision it, is that we, if they lead, then we go ahead and hit him as soon as they cross through. If it's Mannie and Lokeros leading, then we let them clear our kill zone, and then we hit them.
I'll do that. That way he's across from me, I'm across from him. We cover both sides. Since
Mhm.
there looks like there's exits right there. The bottom looks like it's really dense, so if anything, their movement will probably be cut in half if they try to
Yeah.
go that way. So
Mannie and Lokeros, as you guys have been leading them through and whatnot, go ahead and what is your, are you guys feigning like you're tracking, or are you just like, what is your plan with leading them out here?
Yeah, kind of as we get a little closer, we start, kind of feigning like we're being a little more stealthy.
So go ahead and make deception checks.
That's a 14.
I got a 15.
Okay.
All these charisma, these things, I can't do these.
I love
I
it.
got a -2.
It's okay. I made Rhodes work hard during his one-off. He was doing.
Yeah, you
He
did.
got to do like all sort of shit he doesn't normally do.
That was so hard. That was so hard.
It was the least rangery adventure I think he took.
It's one of the things I generally like about Rangers is they're good in most scenarios, but like you managed to create one that I just sucked at.
You're welcome.
So, lady, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're kind of going through, could I have maybe to boost my deception, make minor illusions of like Nikojin prints in the soil?
Yeah.
There's no verbal component, so I can do it kind of stealthily. I can do
Okay.
stealth of hand or sleight of hand if you'd like.
Go ahead and do sleight of hand, and then I'll let you re-roll your deception check.
Okay. Nah.
Okay.
Well, that will be a 12 for sleight of hand.
All right. Let's see if she notices. All right, you don't believe she's noticed you. So go ahead and roll your deception again.
It's +7. So 22.
Okay,
22.
gotcha. Alrighty. And from what you guys can tell, they are following along with no problems. So you two start coming into the clearing. You see the lake just ahead of you. The sun is just starting to set, I believe, with all of this. The activities today, and then getting all this stuff set up and whatnot in your conversation with them. So yeah, it's just about dusk. Sun's just starting to come down and all that jazz. So there's a little bit of light still peeking through the forest trees and whatnot. You don't see any traces of your friends. So what is your next move as you are stepping out here?
I touch the stone and I say, okay, guys, we're here. Mannie, follow my lead and be ready to make your Nikojin.
Yeah, I'll kind of like let them step ahead of us so that I'm staying back, and then I'll make just a small Nikojin. I'll make like Naomi.
Okay.
Run where road is to start, and then kind of into that clearing, if that makes sense. So like if I had road here, like go that way.
Mhm.
Are
Okay.
you guys warning us before you do any of this?
Yeah,
Okay. Because if you're going to warn us, then I'd like to, before I can see you guys, I'll let you know to hang back, and I'm going to cast that spike growth spell.
I was gonna say too. I'd like to excuse me. I'd like to say like 5 minutes before we actually get to the spot. Let them know that we're 5 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not Lokeros, but this hunter, he starts, as soon as he sees that image of Naomi rushing off, he starts taking a step forward. This human sees that as well, and he also starts moving this way. This human gets about here, and the woman is still standing between the two of you. She's keeping an eye on these men, and she sees the guy rushing after the image of Naomi. So who wants to do an action first?
So, just real quick, since they warned us when we were 5 minutes out,
Mm-hmm.
that I cast that spike growth. So it's a 20-foot radius. and the area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. And the transformation of the ground is camouflage, look natural. A creature that can't see the area at the time the spell is cast must make a wisdom perception check against your spell DC. So casting it far enough out to where they couldn't see it, but that 20-foot radius sort of fills that whole center section of where we are. So they'd be moving in. So for every 5 feet they move in, they should take 2d4 piercing damage. And it's difficult terrain, so it halves their movement.
Gotcha. Let me. No worries. Okay, so let me pull up their stuff. So they have to make a what save first?
So there's no save.
Save. Okay, I thought I heard a save in there. Okay, so
the wisdom to notice it. The wisdom is that if they're going to look for it before they enter it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So and they each take how much damage?
2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet to travel.
2d4. God damn.
Now, will that probably just like alerts the captain?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Shit.
And it's I was gonna say before this whole scenario, because I wasn't sure how that was working. As soon as she makes any kind of movement or looks concerned, I'm sticking my blade right in her.
Okay. Let's see.
That's my hold action that I would like to do.
Yeah, and if I could, oh man. Did not know that I was going to be this close to this bitch. Yeah, as soon as I see anything go down, I'm going to go invisible.
Okay.
And is that, Road, I have a question. Does the 20-foot affect us as well?
It looks like you guys are on the edge of it. I sort of planned it. My thought was so that it, they cast it before you guys got here.
Right.
So
but if we wanted to move, we would be affected as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody.
I just want to make sure. All right. Awesome. I am going to move backwards.
Okay. Those 4 humans, like as soon as they take their damage and realize what's going on, their weapons are drawn. The woman, okay, so as soon as she was going to make a move to attack her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lokeros wanted to attack her as soon as she makes a move.
Yeah.
Or looks like she
doesn't, like, she actually looks very much alert. Her hand immediately draws her weapon. So she is ready to attack you guys. Like, she sensed something was up, so yeah, she's ready for what you guys have coming, so you can attack her.
I would like to attack her then.
Very well.
So I'm going to do a Crimson Right as well on my blade.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that hurts you, or does that not hurt you?
It does hurt me. Okay, that is an 18 plus 8, 26.
26 to hit her?
Yes.
That hits.
Perfect. Okay, that's 9 damage from the blade, and 14 from the blade.
All right, so she takes 14 damage?
Yep, 14 from the blade, and geez, I'm so horrible with my let's see, 16
to hit.
Yeah,
that misses, and she's going to expend one of her superiority dice to make an attack against you.
Oh, superiority dice.
Yeah, she's going to go with her riposte.
Oh.
Yeah.
Riposte.
So she draws forth this very well-made longsword. You see it's got the silver hilt with a with a skull's head out in the center of it and whatnot. And the blade looks very well made and very deadly sharp. And she's going to attack you. All right. Roll her die. Does a 29 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay. So that hits 1d8. You take 8 damage. As she attacks back, you see her lips curl back into a sneering grin. She's like, I figured this was too easy of a deal.
And I rebuke back, well, at least I got 500 gold out of it.
We'll see. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and roll an ish. Thanks for joining us for the Arias adventures here on Party Advantage. Come join our community over on our Discord channel and hang out with the cast and fellow fans of the show by following the link in the episode description. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook using @PartyAdvantage to check out fun posts, polls, and special announcements. Lastly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you stay current with all of our episodes on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Come back next week for the Farwind Saga run by fellow DM Rob Kerr. Will the party find an advantage on their next encounter? Only one way to find out. See you then.